Thanks for joining me on another episode of Mindcraft. My name is Komaiya, and today I'm going to be talking to you about self-compassion. Believe it or not, life is challenging. Eventually, we all seem to succumb to issues from the past, stresses in the moment, and anxiety of the future. We're vulnerable to illnesses and diseases just as we expect to live in health and wealth. At the very core of our being, we all want to lead a meaningful life. We want to be happy, meaning we want to be free of pain and suffering. Today, I'm going to be concentrating more on the aspect of being free of pain and suffering. In other words, today I'm going to be talking about self-compassion. Before I give you a working definition of self-compassion, I want to share this illustration with you. Now, I want you to picture two arrows. The first arrow we're going to call the arrow of pain. This is the arrow shot to us by life as a result of the things we go through, as a result of our failures, as a result of abuse, as a result of relationship rupture. Oftentimes, this arrow we do not have a control over because it's shot at us. However, there is a second arrow which I want to call the arrow of suffering. This arrow is the one we shoot ourselves. We use this arrow to actually agitate the place of the first arrow, and this is why it continues to elicit and to make us to experience suffering in our lives. The suffering we experience is even made worse by shame, guilt, and consequences of the bad decisions we've made in the past. We fail and we struggle to forgive ourselves or even people that may have caused us pain. So, what is self-compassion? It is extending compassion to yourself, especially in areas where you perceive inadequacy, failure, or general suffering. In other words, self-compassion helps you to reduce the suffering that you're experiencing by being kind and gentle with yourself, realizing that imperfection is actually a common trait to all humanity. Now, one of the key things that often maintain the critical attitude we have towards ourselves is what I call the negative self-talk, or the negative narrative we keep rehashing in our minds. For a lot of people, this negative self-talk might come in the form of, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect, people won't like me, I can never do this, I always keep making mistakes, I keep ruining things. Or it could be that you say to yourself, I can never change, other people are better than me, I can never get this, I can never overcome this. This has left a scar in my life and things will never get better. We keep using the second arrow to agitate the place of the first arrow, and as a result, we keep exacerbating our suffering. So, how can you begin to develop self-compassion? Number one, I want you to be aware of the negative self-talk, the narrative that you keep repeating to yourself. Let's imagine if a friend of yours should come to you to share with you what they're experiencing, the pain they're going through, and perhaps the suffering that they're going through in their life. Imagine, what are you going to say to this friend? Are you going to be kind to them? Or are you going to be judgmental? Are you going to be critical of them? Are you going to be harsh with them? Chances are that you're not going to. So what self-compassion is for you to begin to treat yourself as your own best friend. What you will say to a friend that you love, I want you to begin to perhaps write these things down, and whenever you feel the pain or the suffering as a result of the things that you've been through, begin to say kind words to yourself. Begin to be gentle with yourself. Begin to take care of yourself. And by so doing, you will begin to experience kindness towards yourself and develop self-compassion. The second thing I want you to be aware of, even as we develop more self-compassion in our lives, is the issue of forgiveness. Research has actually shown that the person that benefits the most from forgiveness is the person who is offering it. So therefore, forgiveness, in other words, is not you just condoning something wrong or hurtful that someone has done to you or that you've done to yourself as a result of bad decisions made in the past. Forgiveness is actually bringing you peace and calm and order into your life. In summary, I want you to remember that compassion is extending kindness and gentleness to yourself, realizing that there's no one that's perfect. There's never a perfect situation. Imperfection is actually part of our trait as human beings. And just begin to be gentle with yourself. So I want to encourage you, begin to practice self-compassion. What do you have to lose? Nothing. Practically nothing. And also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, this is the best time to do that. Look for the subscribe button on the screen and just click on it so you can get notifications even as I drop new videos. Finally, keep crafting the life you desire in your mind. Remember, if you can win in your mind, you really can win in life. Keep safe and God bless.